One of the common questions that we are getting into our office on a daily basis is about 401ks. We've told people, look, you need to go into your plans and you need to see the amount of fees and what fees your 401k is charging you. So if you're an employer out there and you have a plan for your employees, or if you're a employee out there and you're participating in your employer's plan, you need to take notice of this because the amount of money that you pay in fees will directly affect the amount of retirement dollars that you have when you need it. So it's very important that you understand this fact, and it's important that when you realize that you do have a plan with these high fees, that you have other options that are available to you that are out there where you have programs that do not have as many fees or have lower fees. Or you can have programs out there where you can actually roll your 401k plan out of a brokerage account into a program that you control solely yourself, that you have full reign and full control over what you invest in, and you don't have those broker fees, you don't have those money under management fees, the trade fees, and all the things that are associated with it. So not only will it give you full control, but you won't run into all those fees that are directly affecting your plans. Now, most people don't understand how much money exactly is in 401k plans. Right now, there's about $3.5 trillion of consumer money in 401k plan. $3.5 trillion, guys. That's a lot of money. So we're not just talking about a few people that are out there investing. There's a hefty amount of your dollars as consumers investing in these plans to the total of $3.5 trillion. Now, there's the theory of compounding fees, which means that the more money that you pay in fees out there to participate in these plans, the less money goes to work for you compounding, which means ultimately you end up with less retirement dollars. So how much you pay in fees is vital to how much you end up keeping when you go to retire. 8 out of 10 people out there don't even know the fees that they're paying for the retirement account. That means 80% of all people that have a plan or a program out there, whether you are an employer or an employee participating, you don't understand all the fees that are going to cover the cost of running your program. And furthermore, you don't realize that you don't have to settle for plans that have these high fees. 70% of all people out there that have these plans think that they're not paying any kind of fees, which is crazy because that's how brokerages make their money. Brokerages make their money based on all the fees. A lot of people out there will think the only thing they have to worry about is, they put their money to work or they take a cut of their paycheck and it goes into this program. It's invested in mostly predominantly mutual funds or stock type derivative accounts. And then when they go get their money, the only thing they need to really be bothered with is what their tax liability is going to be. That's not the case. You need to look at your fees. You need to look at your expenses, and you need to, once you realize how high of fees that you're paying, govern yourself accordingly and look for other options that you can go into. The average retirement account, 401k retirement account right now has 17 fees associated with it. 17 fees. That is quite a lot. And these fees go from nickel and dime fees to whole percentage points as fees. And the more fees that they take and attach to your plan, the less you're going to end up keeping. So you need to be aware of the fact that, guys, 17 average fees associated with a 401k plan. So another thing that I want you to be aware of also is that out of 8,500 mutual fund accounts that are out there, only 4% of all the mutual fund accounts that are out there in the United States that you guys are participating in actually are beating the stock market. Only 4%. And the reason I bring that up to you is a lot of clients will say that they go into a 401k or they created a 401k account for their employees because they want to invest in mutual funds, and mutual funds they think are more stable, more conservative, and that they can get a better rate of return. That's not the case. In fact, mutual funds, all out of all the 401k plans out there, only 4% of them have beat the market. Now, I'm not saying to go into stocks then. I'm saying that you need to understand that it is not the conservative, safe program that you thought it was. So if you're not making 6% on your money tax-free or 9% on your money tax-deferred, you're going broke safely. You need to beat the 6% inflation. Inflation has averaged 6% for the last 70 years. I'm not talking about what they're saying out there on the news and what have you. You know, they're talking about a 2 or 3% inflation. That's what they're talking about out there across for GDP. What I'm talking about is, you know, the cost of goods and services like toothpaste and food and groceries and housing and gas and vehicles and things that you would consume. It's about 6%. Some of these things, if you look at these products that you buy at the grocery store, they've been a whole lot more than 6%. They've gone up. So if you're not making 6% on your money tax-free, 9% tax deferred, you're going broke safely. That means you putting your money at risk is actually costing you money. Now, due to fees, here's an important quote. Due to fees, 75% of all audited plans are illegal, says the Department of Labor. 75% of all plans are illegal, says the Department of Labor. That's from CFO Daily. That means a lot of these 401k programs are getting away with murder out there with these fees. In fact, they're illegal. They feed you so much to the point that when they're audited, they're illegal and they're eliminating them. You will not believe the fact that just on mutual fund companies alone, 80% of all the mutual companies that existed 20 years ago no longer exist today. And people that were invested in those types of programs lost a ton of money. And I'm not just talking about the 2008 crash. I'm talking about the fact that they don't perform. And so people bail out of them or move you out of them or things of that nature. So guys, you need to understand this information and utilize it so that you can change your lives and you can change the outcome of what your retirement is really going to do for you. The one thing that I want to end with, guys, is if you are an employer out there, if you are an employer and you have an employee plan, that means that you are a business and you allow your employees to participate in it. If you have a ton of fees, if you're not aware of the fees and what's going on with your program, that you don't realize as a business owner that you have personal legal liability for your retirement plan. That means if it gets audited and you didn't do your due diligence or you haven't rechecked your program and they find that there are extra fees above and beyond what they call reasonable fees, a part of your program, then you as an employer, you are personally responsible for that, and they will come after you personally in the form of fines and penalties. You don't want this to happen to you. Guys, I would advise you, if you're out there, if you are an employer and you have a plan, look at it, investigate it. If you don't know how to look for your fees, we do a free consultation here. You can shoot us over your last statement, your last month statement, your last quarterly statement, semi-annual statement, whatever it is. We'll look at it. We'll do a personal assessment of it. We don't do investments, guys. That's not what we do. We don't care what you invest in, but we do care if you're paying high fees or if you lose money. We don't care what it is that you go in. We don't have a bias, but we do care that you're protected and that your interest is looked after. So guys, we're here to help you. Utilize our service. We've been around for 28 years, and we'd be more than glad to help you out. So reach out to us again, and we'd love to see what we can do to help you. Thank you, guys, and have a great day. Bye-bye.